Newsmakers Week with Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Presented by JSX Air. Private perks, commercial prices. Arizona State University.
Yeah, day 2 of Newsmakers Week 2022. It is our pleasure to welcome the president of Arizona State University, Dr. Michael Crow, to the program. He joins us on the 72 Sold Sports Line. Dr. Crow, good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Obviously, you've got a lot on your plate as the president of the university. We just deal in the sports world, Dr. Crow. So from your perspective, from your seat, just a general question, your stance on the overall health status of Arizona State athletics as we speak this morning.
Well, we've got almost 25 varsity sports with tremendously high-achieving student athletes, higher than they've ever been in terms of their academic outcome, academic performance, higher than they've ever been in terms of their athletic performance. Net all in. So, I'm very happy with the progress that we've made, the teams that we've launched, the national champions that we're producing, the national championships that we're producing, the way our various teams are moving forward. It's a complex arena across so many sports, and, we're excited to be a part of a great conference of competitors, and, it's all in. It's fun, it's challenging, it's complicated, it's all those things, but we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, definitely complicated. All right, let's jump into the football discussion, if you don't mind. Since July, 5 assistant coaches have departed. Jaden Daniels have gone in the portal. There's a lot of Sun Devil fans who are asking, why does Herm Edwards still have his job? Because at the very least, he is the head coach of a program that is dealing with semi-serious or serious allegations. Your thoughts on that? Why does Herm Edwards still have a job?
In all of these things where you have people who decide not to play by the rules, those people are gone. Now we're looking at, what went wrong and why that happened and so forth. So we're still in the thick of that. Coach Edwards has done an outstanding job of upgrading our overall program. We've got this collision of people that, decided to, not play by the rules relative to recruiting. And so we'll be looking at how we can make improvements and so forth and so on. But Coach Edwards is responsible for the actions of all of his people, but these are not things that he asked them to do. These were not things that he was, a part of. And so we're looking at everything possible. He's brought a lot of talent, a lot of energy, and a lot of creativity, and now we're dealing with, people that couldn't play by the rules, and now they're gone.
Arizona State President Dr. Michael Crow, our guest here on the 72 Sold Sports Line, is part of Newsmakers Week 2022. Dr. Crow, you mentioned, still in the thick of things and everything that's gone down in terms of the exit of assistant coaches. It's been voluntary, self-imposed to a degree. Have you, as the president of the university, been given any sort of indication on when the thick of it is over and you might hear some sort of final ruling from the NCAA in this investigation?
The bad thing about the process of rule violations with the NCAA is that they take so long to work through. So if we'd been doing this investigation by ourselves, we would have, gotten the information, taken a look at the facts, taken our actions, made our adjustments, and moved forward. I think we're hearing that it's still 10 months away, 12 months away,
wow,
something on that order. And so we've got to work for that process. With the basketball investigation of some of the teams from a few years ago, I think it's almost 4 years into the process, and there's still no resolution on that. So we're looking forward to, moving forward. Obviously, we're making adjustments now, but the NCAA process is a long process and is not near conclusion.
I know innovation is a big word at ASU, and what you've done at ASU in sum has been absolutely remarkable in terms of upgrading the university academically and all that, and everybody knows that. But when you look at the football program, do you have any second thoughts on this pro model that has sort of been part of the innovation at ASU?
Well, I think that's a good question and a fair question. And so, I think that it has worked well in terms of trying to put us into a position where we're not looking forward to, as coaches through the decades come and go, this notion of entire teams coming in, entire teams coming out, and that's part of the pro model. Now, I think another consequence of the pro model was perhaps some individuals who weren't as focused on the college rules as they should have been, and so they've moved on. So what we need to build, what we need to innovate around that question is a hybrid kind of model And so we're figuring out how to do this, and some of it's the hard way, as you can see right now. But nonetheless, we're figuring out how to do it, and we are making progress. I mean, our football program is making progress. If you look at it over the last, let's say, 45 years, it's making progress. And we're going to continue that progress. We're going to continue making changes. We're not going to end up with a simple kind of model, it's this or that. We're going to end up with an ASU model that's going to be what helps make our program work and the teams that we compete against. So we're happy with the progress, not happy with the stumble here, but happy with the progress.
Dr. Michael Crow, ASU president, our guest here in Newsmakers Week 2022, brought to you by JSX Air. This pertains to football, Dr. Crow, but obviously goes beyond that. College athletics is a different landscape altogether now, with transfer portal action, with name, image, and likeness rules in place where athletes can get paid. We haven't seen that before. It's very early in both of those processes, but generally speaking, are you a fan of those two innovations in college athletics? Do you think you're being operated correctly right now?
No, I don't. I'm not a big fan of those things. I'm kind of an old school, college students playing sports, going to college, getting scholarships, becoming college graduates. We've made a lot of progress at ASU at overcoming some of our longer-term history where we didn't have people graduating, we didn't have people successful academically. We fixed all that, and now we get to this mode where there's so much focus on the resources and so much focus on this and that. I do support better scholarships for athletes, what we call full cost of attendance scholarships for athletes. We've been under investing in those, but I'm not a big fan of all this other stuff, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of the kinds of changes that are being made. But there's a huge waves of moving in this direction. So whatever happens, we're just going to try to make it work, where we're going to focus on the success of the student athlete and really care about those individuals and focusing our energy on them.
So many people have been looking at your football program as a sleeping giant, and when I step back and I look across this country and I see some of the best Division I college football programs, a lot of times those universities get a little bit off mission, that those football programs become maybe too important, disproportionately so in terms of the mission of the entire university. How do you balance that with the desire for success? And as far as ASU is concerned, would expanding the college football playoffs be a good solution for everybody who may not want to go down that rabbit hole of putting everything you have to make the football team what you want it to be?
Those are really important questions. The Pac-12, along with the ACC and the Big Ten, just voted against expansion. What we're interested in is, I do support an expansion of the football playoff. I think that the football playoff should be conference champions, period. Mm-hmm. And a couple other teams could be read in because they did really well, but it should be basically each conference battling within themselves. You could have a conference champion that's got 2 or 3 or even 4 losses, but it's a tough conference. And so this notion of the way that they're working things now is created an obsession around no losses, an obsession around just this overwhelming focus on football, and it's not healthy. What we need are conferences to build their own cultures, have the champions of those conferences play each other for a national championship, have some great bowl games, maybe a few less of them, and just get football back to sort of a really fun sport with really great, tremendous athletes, and get past this notion of it is everything, because it's not everything. It's fun and it's important, but it's not everything.
Dr. Michael Crow, ASU president, our guest here on Newsmakers Week. My final question, Dr. Crow. A lot has been made over the years of your support of former Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott. He no longer holds that office. George Kliavkoff has taken over that role, and he's early in his tenure as commissioner. But from your perspective, how would you assess the job that George Kliavkoff has done so far?
He's done a great job. So, really the way to look at Larry is Larry modernized the conference from basically a high school athletic department type of model or a college athletic department type of model to an actual modern athletic conference. So Larry did that for us. George is coming in with a style and an approach which is, very positive. All of the schools are engaged. We've got much more harmony in the orchestra, so to speak. And George brings a savvy and a sort of a way in which he moves things forward, which is just really positive. So we're out to a great start.
Dr. Crow, thanks so much for making some time for us during
you.
Newsmakers Week. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Thanks, Vince. Talk to you guys later.
All right, take care.